What's up, plebs? We are here with This Week in Yu-Gi-Oh! We're doing a bit of a different take on it, so rather than just speaking out myself, I've got some friends here, so we're just going to talk about everything in a sort of holistic kind of way, and we're just going to go through each topic, and rather than just have one person give their one opinion, I feel like it'd be kind of cool to just bounce off other people and stuff. So without further ado, as for the meta, I guess we can start off. Not really much happened. I got a Spyral Zoo list up on screen currently. That's about as... like, since Denver, not much has really changed. Am I wrong?
You're wrong.
So I think that for the Denver decks, they're probably like... kind of become the standard. Like, Metal Foes with Zoo is like really good now, and... well, we got a Spyral Zoo list. Feel free to just fucking say anything.
I mean,
yeah, Spyral Zoo was kind of interesting. Very cool. I think people underestimated the kind of small Spiral engine. I'm not saying other Spiral cards are good, but the little recurring engine where you can summon like a Super Agent or a Tough into a Dryden is pretty cool in the mirror. So I can understand people playing that. It's pretty cool.
It's like the Zoo cards, the Zoo combo needs a level 4 in the field now in order to make that second rank 4, and Resort and Agent sort of help that. Not very consistently, because you need to call it right with Agent to special summon it, but you know.
even just being able to normal summon a body's okay.
Yeah, if you're not, you can also normal summon it if you have Barrage or Terratop instead of Rat. So that's the thing. It's kind of cool. So that's TCG. Into the OCG, we have. It's actually the same report from last week that we kind of did, but not really much to go over here. True Dracos, True King Dinosaur, True Draco Metal Full Cosmo. Looks like it's the meta for
yeah. They decided to stop people summoning lots of extra deck monsters, so everything that can summon a big dude not from the extra deck is now really good. Basically, like, that's why Cosmo's good now, and that's why the True Draco Demise is really popular. Like, I think that's way more popular than the other decks.
I think Dinosaurs is really popular, like super duper popular.
37% True Draco, 25% True King Dinosaur. True Draco's like, I mean, I don't know if they're playing Zoo in those True Draco decks. I would think not. So it says here 9 Demise, 2 Pure, and 1 Invoke True Draco. So Invoke True Draco is interesting. I mean, they're all white, so...
yeah, I was having a look at the list the other week, just to kind of grab ideas from. And they're all pretty much very similar. Like, they all play like a lot of the spells, the True Draco traps, and then like some Demise, and then the ratio differences are between like Knuckles and Majesty Maiden, the other kind of supporting True Draco guys. Yeah, but that's about it.
Majesty Maiden is kind of cool, but I'm not too sure how popular it's going to be on release here, just because like Zoo is still a very good engine in the deck, but we'll see.
There's quite a few True Draco Yang Zings yesterday as well.
Yesterday? Where? What was this?
On the OCG Japan deck list from yesterday, there's 3 out of like 20.
Okay.
In like first place and second place, obviously. We were just looking at ones.
Danglong. And
that's the only one I'm looking at. But it's the Zephyr ones as well. Because you can summon the 3400 thing from, obviously, not your extra deck.
Yeah. Okay, so not really much to go over because we kind of went over it last week, and yeah, it's still pretty bland. So I think we had the YCS Columbia, but we didn't really get much coverage from it. So it's only Tuesday, so maybe some more deck profiles and stuff will come out soon. I don't know if there's anything major until Pittsburgh. Was Pittsburgh next week? I think.
Is Pittsburgh an ARG? I'm assuming, yeah.
No, YCS Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
I think that might be after YCS. Sorry, after Maximum Crisis. I think it says May 13. Yeah, so that's the first YCS after Maximum Crisis. So for the next like 3 weeks, there really isn't too much going on.
Yeah, people will probably just be testing the new Maximum Crisis format.
So next, we've got some of the new cards. Let's start off simply with something that I think last week I might have forgotten. I'm not sure. I think it might have just been the day after I did my video, but it's Traptrix Coronatus, or however this thing is pronounced. So it's Traptrix level 4 Earth 1500 attack, unaffected by the effects of holes. When it's normal, you can add a Traptrix monster from your deck. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can bounce one of your own back row and then set one of your own back row. Thoughts?
It's obviously quite good for Traptrix archetype, giving them a
Whatever that
stars.
means.
So I'm going to start with a compliment sandwich. Okay, so we're going to say something
Yeah.
positive, and then something negative, and then end with something positive.
Yep.
So it's good for Traptrix archetype.
The raw effect's really good. Right?
Do you like disconnected or something?
Oh, poor Ryan. Well, we have the Rota effect, which is obviously very good. Just searching any Traptrix monsters. As far as I'm aware, there's no Traptrix monster that you can just like search and then like special from your hand
No.
and like go
no.
into like an Exeer or a Fleasia or anything like that. None of them do anything in hand as hand traps either. So
It's actually quite possible that maybe looking way too far into the future, but we might see some sort of like a hat reincarnation with this thing. Maybe once Link comes out and the game slows down a bit, there'll maybe be some sort of like extended Traptrix engine.
I mean, it can add itself, so you could just run 3 this card.
Yeah, you can run that with Marmillo and make it kind of. I don't know. It doesn't seem very good.
I don't understand the balance
He
I
tried.
don't understand the balance effect. Like, why? What do you do?
it protects your back row. That's the argument I heard anyway. That's the best reasoning.
So, like, if you target it with an OST, you bounce it and then set it again, and then you can't activate that trap anymore.
Yep. Yep. You've hit the nail on the head. Yep.
Okay.
So not
It's
very
cute.
Yeah.
Or you bounce like. Yeah, like Mirror Force, and then like. I don't know. Yes, he's really bad.
I tried
Let's move on.
looking up those Mist Valley cards again, Divine Wind Mist Valley, but they only trigger when you bounce monsters, I think. So
There's a really weird one called Treasure Map, I think, which is like a pot of greed or something if you bounce it.
wait, what? Let's have a look at this. Oh wait, I just
look
googled
up-
treasure map. I don't know what I was hoping to come up with that.
Yes, so did I.
Right, let's see. It's a trap card. You can only activate this card in response to the activation of an effect that would return this card from the field to the hand. Draw 2 cards, and then discard one as well. So it's not even pot of greed.
It's broken.
That's really poor. What a terrible combo.
So you target it, and it's like it's like a kind of like a pot of greed, really.
Kind of like a pot of greed. Alright, cool.
And then you can discard the Traptrix that you searched last turn,
And then die in your back.
next turn.
Wow!
Broken.
Alright, let's move on to more new cards that are sort of relevant. Let's go chronologically. So, we got a Spyral Gear, Papa Roach, Suffocation, no breathing. You can target 1 Spyral monster. Okay, wait, hang on. So, level 4, first of all. Earth Machine, level 4. 1000 attack, so it can be duped, machine duped. The text is, target 1 Spyral you control and you can equip it from your hand or field to that target. And while this is equipped to a monster by this effect, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Once per turn, if this card is equipped to a monster by this effect, send 1 other card you control to the graveyard. The equipped monster can attack directly. Alright.
Okay. Yeah, me and Elliot have very differing opinions in this card.
No, this one's the okay one. Like the other one's like.
No, Ryan hates it as well.
No,
Really bad.
no, like
This is the second best Spiral card we've got.
After the boss monster.
No, after Resort.
Right, okay. Oh yeah, exactly.
After the Searcher.
Right. Let's start with the compliment sandwich. Elliot, why is this card good?
It's level 4, it's Spiral Gear as well as a monster, so Quick Fix and Resort can add it. So it's like highly searchable, you can search whenever you want, you can equip it to everything and make it basically indestructible, like as much as we can actually hope to achieve at least. And then it has another cute effect where it lets you actually try and push, so it kind of hinted at a possible win condition of being really lame and attacking directly for like 4 turns in a row, which is awful. It's shit because we're still missing something good to equip it to that isn't ridiculously hard to summon. And then the sandwich would just went bread, ham, so...
okay, so here's my issue with the card. So it's a card that strictly like makes it into like, as people were calling it, Clifford Towers effect, right?
Yep.
Except it's an Clifford Towers effect that's worse because things like Whiptail and Sights Mass and Sky Cavalry all out it because it's not unaffected, it just can't be destroyed or targeted. This makes it a worse Towers going into a format where all the True Draco and Zoo decks are going to summon a better Towers. And anyone who's not playing Towers is going to be main and side decking outs to towers. This card is literally unplayable.
So here's my counter argument to that. I understand that it's really easy to out towers, like currently the format we're going into, but the fact that you can just recur this card and you don't really lose advantage to summoning it, while every other tower is basically in the game that's ever been created, causes you to lose advantage, or have to play really, really bricky cards. Whilst I agree, Spyral is a brick archetype, it's literally just a house of bricks, and no actual like things in the house. But basically, the fact that you can just like quick fix or resort into quick fix into this, like, and just summon like a quote unquote tower is like really, really good. And even if you do out it, you haven't really lost anything. You still got your quick fix effects in grave. You're still fueling your sleeper. You can do it all again next turn. Yada yada yada.
Towers that can be MST'd. Forgot that.
Look, well, it can't really be MST because you got resort as well. So the resort has to be MST'd, and then last resort, and then they have to be over the quick fix or whatever.
That's fair. The recursion aspect is really good. The draw to things like
I didn't quite understand the recursion thing. How are you recurring? Like with
well, it's just level 4, so you can summon it off Big Red and stuff. So you could just once reborn it, you can banish it off Sleeper. It is a resource. It's not like as soon as it goes to grave, it's just a useless card for just snow or something. Like it does have somewhat use in grave.
Yeah, so things like the Masterpiece, they kind of generate advantage the longer they stay on the field. Obviously, because it can pop a card in either player's turn. So, and the same with Towers. Like, Towers stayed in the field, like the deck would Pendulum Summon next turn and you were dead. Whereas this card I don't feel actually generates advantage by being on the field.
On its own, no. I debate that with Sleeper it's actually really, really strong, but the only problem there is summoning Sleeper is really, really difficult, at least fast. Like, it's easy to summon it by banishing 3 is not that big of a deal, but obviously turn 1, this deck doesn't have any way of feeling that at all. So you kind of have to play some janky-ass mill deck, which just gets really conflicting. But like, if you summon Sleeper and equip Resort, that's really, really, really strong, because it just means you get free 2 pops every turn, like in either player's turn.
So that is the interaction, right? If you summon Sleeper and equip this, like you just pop 2 things, right? That's pretty cool.
I think we've established the win condition.
That's the only win condition we have right now. That's somewhat not shit.
Sleeper last resort. All right.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I think it's a good card to sum up. It's a good card, like in general, but it's like people were way overhyping it when it came out.
Yeah, of course.
So, Spyral Gear, fully armed. Equip spell card. Equip only to a Spyral Super Agent. Gains 1000 attack. If it destroys your opponent's monster by battle, banish both the opponent's destroyed monster and one other card your opponent controls. When this face-up card in the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target a Super Agent and special summon it.
Like way overhyped.
You can go first.
The other one don't work.
Yeah, I'd say this is the 3rd best card in the archetype.
So, let's just break it down. So, first of all, the first sentence, equipped to Spyral Super Agent. So that's a problem, first of all.
Really niche and restrictive.
Yeah, because like they kind of wanted us to focus on Super Agent, but then they made something like Sleeper, which is like, you know, kind of better in some ways. I mean, it is more powerful, but you know, it's like it's not Super Agent. It doesn't have the same name as Super Agent, like Tough. Has no synergy with Super Agent, not the same level. You can't overlay them. You can't like so. Not being able to equip this to anything except Super Agent is kind of like not really great. So then it gains 1000 attack, which is meh. I mean, that's a lot. That's strong.
It's strong. Strong meta breaking card.
Now, if it destroys your opponent's monster by battle, you can banish the monster and another card they control. So it doesn't target. That's a really amazing effect. That is really good.
Is it though?
The problem is like setting that up. Like, I mean, okay, so you need to summon Super Agent, equip this, attack the monster, and they have to have no response to anything that you just did to establish that. Which is not likely, because like they're gonna have a Dryden, they're gonna have a Masterpiece, a Strike, or something. So it doesn't help you deal with any of that at all. And then the other effect. So when I think is the cool effect. When it leaves the field, well, it's not really the same thing as leaving the field. So it's when this face-up card in the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target a Super Agent and engrave and special it. So that's a really good effect, but I think that needing it to be face up and be destroyed means that you can't really like combo it. So there's not really much that you can do in terms of combos. It's just sort of like I don't know. I mean, if your monster dies, does the equip is the equip considered being destroyed or?
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's okay. That's okay. That's a decent effect.
So realistically, the only time you're gonna really trigger that is when the monster just dies naturally.
So the thing here, so we were talking about how it's weak into Trident boards, but if you're attacking their, say, Trident, for example, because you want to obviously trigger the effect, if they pop the spell, then obviously you can still like attack, you be over the Trident for free, so your equips kind of just turn into like, I don't want to like I don't know, like Smashing Ground or whatever you want to fucking call it, which is like kind of shit. Obviously playing Smashing Ground and saying Smashing Ground is good, it's like shit. That could have just been a board wipe, obviously. Like it could have just been infinitely better.
Summon the Super Agent or like a Tough or whatever.
What?
But if you summon a Super Agent and equip this thing to it and attack into a Trident, you've lost your battle phase and 2 cards
To out a Trident.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm just like saying, like, it doesn't like stop Trident being Trident doesn't stop it, because if they pop a monster, then you get to summon the Super Agent, and then you get to pop a card as well, because it's summoned by a Spyral card. So like you wouldn't want to do that, so you'd have to pop a spell, and then you still lose your Trident. So it's okay in that aspect. Its effects, like, it's a really good toolbox card. Like, it lets you clear boards and stuff, which is something this deck really struggled with. The biggest problem I have with this card is the searchability. If they had made it a monster like Last Resort, that'd been bang on. That'd been amazing, because then we could search off a resort. But currently, the only way we can search it really properly is Quick Fix. And if you're summoning Quick Fix, that means you don't have Super Agent, so it's just slow as hell. So now we're going Quick Fix, and then it dies or whatever, and then next turn summoning a Super Agent, Quick Fix summons itself from graveyard, and then searching it. Like, it's not even a turn one. The idea is that you special
Super Agent, right?
Well, yeah, so you could technically, well, that's the thing, you can't even rely on special summoning Super Agents, so I don't even want to say that. I want to, like, you can't rely on that 33, really. Obviously, it's not technically 33, but yeah, you see my point. Like, if it was searchable off Resort, you could have reliably, like, done it turn 1. So then, if you really wanted to run it, you'd have to run 3, and then this card is just going to be so garbage at 3. It's going to be so fucking janky. So you'd only really want to play 1 or something to search it, but then again, you can't even search it properly. It's just so awkward.
So many flaws in this archetype, like, so many flaws that can
it's really conflicting.
Everything conflicts. Like, the main, I've said this in the chat earlier when we were like discussing like this card and it being released. Just a Super Agent, like any Spyral monster would have made this card like playable and a little bit better if you could like toolbox it on any Spyral monster you had in the field. The way they've built this card is like they're trying to build like a Protect the Castle deck with Super Agent as like your main dude on the field. But not only is like Super Agent garbage, right? You can't even summon it half the time because you call the top of the deck wrong. So it's a Protect the Castle deck where you can't summon the castle, right?
You can normal it.
But half the time you don't summon it.
So, I mean, like, you have to fucking, like, normal summon something that basically doesn't do anything. It's like a neg 1 just for existing. It's like, even if you do sell the towers a normal summon and equip in Last Resort, and then have him Resort on field, and then you could make it fucking 2/9. Like, that's amazing, but then it's like, okay, just like Whiptail it. Like, you've committed so many cards, you're probably not even going to have a response to Whiptail at that point.
Alright, well, moving on, we've got the Dinosaur Smasher Structure Deck release and the Ancient Gear one. They came out on the Thursday. I didn't really like have anything to say about the Ancient Gear one, because I mean, I don't think that's really going to do anything ever. But yeah, dinosaurs are now, I want to say at full power, but they're still missing like the True King aspect. So, I mean, once they get True King of all calamities next set, the deck will basically have everything it kind of needs to be like really good. So, I mean, there's obviously they got a lot of the good shit. Petite Renadon, the floater dude, and then the Conductor Tyranno as well, and the Baby Cerosaurus. Is Baby Cerosaurus new, or is it a reprint? That's what I'm curious about.
I think that's a reprint.
Okay.
It is a really old card, I think.
And there's lots of good new reprints in here. So yeah, dinosaurs, thoughts?
I think Dinosaur is like a really good, powerful deck. It's probably the fastest deck of the format right now. Well, going into it, the engine's really powerful. The toolbox is pretty strong, but you're in so many garnets. Like, I know, like, the field spell helps with a lot of it, but Jesus Christ, your deck is like 90% garnet. Like, none of the individual cards do anything. Like, the entire deck is just like extenders. Like, it's fucking
similar to like Cosmo Fire King.
Yeah.
Formats ago, super explosive, like loads of cool plays. Like, I think there's a lot of ways you can build it, which is why I'm quite looking forward to the release of it. Especially the fact that like there isn't determined best build yet, so there's not going to be too much net decking going on. Hopefully people will like come up with like Yang Zings and True Dracos and like other weird stuff that we've not seen yet. So I think it's got a lot of potential. Whether it'll be like consistently better than the top decks of next format, like Zoo and like Pure True Draco and other things like that, I'm not sure. Because everything can explode turn 1 if they go first, theoretically. So
I
think
the
it definitely has one of the
is
strongest boards. Turn 1.
And they can play pretty well going second, like playing into boards. Just by popping a bunch of stuff, everything's quite resilient to like Dridents and stuff. Like Drident doesn't really do a lot. The fact that you can summon just like a dinosaur and add the 3500 Tyranno, that's crazy. Tyranno's amazing.
Yeah, Tyranno's really cool. Searchable Kaiju as well. The deck has pretty nice.
Doesn't even need Kaiju, that's the thing. Well, the deck can get over that stuff on like just with its engine.
Yeah, how's the grind game for dinosaurs? I haven't tested it too much.
Like, theoretically it's okay because you can make rank 4s, make your emeralds. You run quite a lot of engine cards purely for consistency, so you kind of innately get a good grind game from just running so many cards that do stuff. But I think if you're gonna explode like turn 1, like your toolbox becomes really linear after that. So like turn 1 you can do a lot of stuff, but then like after that, if they clear your board or whatever and you don't auto win, then your toolbox becomes really, really linear, just like maybe a rank 4. Your Laguer and your Dalker are probably shit by then. You could probably just summon a couple of beat sticks, and then the best card you've probably got after that is Tyranno. But even then, if they stop the Tyranno, you're pretty shit.
That's fair. What would you suggest for like good side cards or floodgates for the next format then, while we're on the subject?
I think graveyard stoppage on your opponent's turn is good. So like DD Crow, I think is good. Maxi obviously.
I don't think the DD Crow is. Ghost Dash obviously for like their field
they summon the Overraptor and then they target engrave to pop their own monster to special out. So I think that stops the whole like.
It can stop the combo, but they can always play through it depending on the build.
Yeah. So
they can just keep going.
I think Ghost Dash is really good.
Things like maybe Lancia, not Lancia so much as Different Dimension Ground or something, or like
DDG if you're going first, is like really good.
Well, it's probably the best like overall kind of thing.
If you can make a Dweller and Zoo going first, like that's really good as well.
It's like if you can Ghost Ogre like the Denglong and stuff like that in the combo, like that can hurt a lot because that basically stops the VFD, which could then again stop the Nat Beast. So then the worst really board you're thinking of is a couple of beaters and maybe a Lagia. And like that's easily play throughable. Yeah. So a well-timed Ghost Ogre can really hurt.
Alright, moving this along, I think, what do we have left? 2 more items of discussion really, so we're talking about rarities now. I didn't see a source for this, but on the Konami blog they've got they're talking about the Ghost Dash thing, talking. On the YG.org they seem to be confirmed that it's a secret rare. I don't see anything about that on the blog, but it's let's be real, it's not gonna be surprising that they make this a secret rare. So yeah, another secret rare there. Not really much to say about that. I don't know. You guys have anything to say?
No, not surprised at all. This is exactly not what we expected. So
the biggest problem, like because like they gotta make the money with that secret rare. Then they flip flopped over on the other end with Pot of Desires is now not even reprinted. It's a promo. Like a promo. Who would have thought? Like that is
no. Well, they didn't flip flop. This is the Konami marketing scheme. They put something secret rare in a set, make it really, really good, busted like D-Barrier Desires for the now. Then once the set's like going out of print and they've sold like 6 to 9 months worth of the set, they reprint it in the tin to sell the tins because everyone wants to pick up the card for like cheap.
I wonder if it indicates some kind of like banless hit, because like shit that gets reprinted always gets like hit. But I don't know if Pot of Desires would be a contender. But anyway, that's not the point. Ultra rare Pot of Desires. So this is in the Kaiba tin, and in the Yugi tin. So it's like both tins have the promo. So it's not like they're gonna have the problem of like, where it would. So the ABC structure deck, I think, and the Yugi one, like everyone bought the Kaiba one. Nobody bought the Yugi one. But stores could only order them in pairs. They couldn't order that, like just give us like 50 Kaiba ones and like 2 Yugis or something.
Yeah, both.
So even if they do have to, even if stores do have to order this in pairs, it's still really funny because like I mean, they're just gonna sell out of this mega. Like, there's so many good cards, like D-Barry, Desires, Toad, Alcahest, every secret rare the past year is just in this, and it's like amazing.
Oh yeah, it's good. It is good marketing. Like, as much as we can complain about it, as
Yeah,
the players,
I mean, not really complaining about it. It's just so good. Like,
money.
it's just funny.
Just an off topic on that. Ash Blossom blog post that they made. They called the picture. You know how they always have cool JPEG like names for the pictures.
Yeah.
They called it "Save Yourself the Heartache."
Save yourself the heartache.jpg. I see that. What's that supposed to mean? Is it from
maybe
something?
it's like kind of hidden meaning. It like rip your wallet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or is it like a song or some shit maybe?
Possibly. They've always had really cool JPEGs, and the guys who do the blog posts seem more distant from Konami than like the proper Konami officials, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they have a little bit of free reign with like what they do. It's pretty cool.
So one final thing as well that I forgot. This will wrap us up. So we've got Spellbook of Rudra, or Rudra, however you like to say this. Normal spell card. Send to the graveyard a spellcaster type monster you control, or a spellbook card in your hand or field, except itself. Draw 2. Only once per turn.
This thing is so cool. Like, I don't care if it's not going to see any play. Like, this thing is just so cool. Like, they're giving spellbook support, like actually decent support. So like everyone who played the deck can like mess about with it. It's not going to be competitive, but it's really good. It's a good card, like an awesome card.
I hate you so much, Ryan. Maybe I just want to mess around with spirals. Fuck you.
I think that so the fact that you can send a spellcaster is kind of interesting. So like,
you can also send it from field though, which makes it
yeah, it's a bit slow that way. But I feel like if that was like spellcaster from hand, oh my god, like this would have been like bananas. But I mean, I think you can still like summon Justice and then activate spellbook, then activate this, and like you still get the search in the end phase. No, because she has to banish herself in the end phase. Oh. Yeah,
you have to banish Justice and tribute Temperance.
I mean,
and it works with Stoic, which is kind of weird. So like, you can send, get a search. You can summon Blue Boy, like do your spellbook stuff, and then like send Blue Boy to the grave, but that turns your fate offline. So it is kind of conflicting.
Yeah. I mean, there's no generic spellcasters that you can sort of just like a Cyber Dragon spellcaster of sorts. There's nothing that the deck has like that, no.
Not that I know of, but they probably do exist. Like,
that's pretty cool, but I mean, I don't think nothing to make spellbooks amazing.
Like you can send them like dead ones in hand, like multiples and stuff. So it's pretty cool for like consistency. But yeah, that's about it.
And one final thing is, again, I forgot. One more card. Slow Life. So, have you guys read this yet?
Yeah.
Oh, so busted. Continuous spell card. Activate this card only if you control no monsters at the start of main phase 1. Neither player can special during the turn they normal. Neither player can normal during the turn they special. So.
Okay. Fair. Right. This is a fair-ish floodgate. Right?
I like what they're trying to do, like try and balance it with the main phase 1 thing. It's cute.
So it has to affect yourself, not just like make a board, flip Imperial Order like GG, right?
Yeah, because you need to control no monsters, so it's kind of cool.
Also, I can choose just to special summon, right, for the turn.
Yeah, so you can just special summon all the time and just not use your normal.
Seems
awkward.
Well, like there's not too many decks. Like I mean.
It seems like it can be really good for you or like really bad depending on like if you have like a zoo hand, like you could just open Terror Top and it's like okay, right, I'm good to go. Then you could open like the Predaplant and it's like oh fuck, well, can't really use it.
It's an awkward card. Like maybe there'll be some deck or like format where this ends up being really really good, where a deck needs like a normal and a special.
I mean, it's okay in Paleo.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay in Paleo. It's not a trap though, and it's like there's probably better floodgates to play if you want to play like it's not. This isn't main deckable, so if you're siding things, you can probably side specific things for the meta that are more impactful than this thing.
I mean, we've got a. Wait, no, ignore. No, ignore me. I'm gonna say we've got a floodgate for you, send you, but no, we don't.
I'm trying to think of a deck that just loses to this, like cannot play under it, but
this is why it's kind of fair. Like this is why it's not like a harming Floodgate yet.
Yeah.
And I say yet because there might be something dumb down the line that loses to this, and you need it banned.
Because I feel like if you normal summon, I can't think of anything that absolutely.
I think it hurts Infernoids quite a lot because like the one either normal summon the Decatron or the Zoo combo quite often, or the obviously the Scorpio or the Lone Fire, etc.
So the thing with Infernoids though is like if they normal if they can't, if their only play is a normal summon, then like they.
Well, that's what I mean. It's not about their only play though, because their normal summons are like the starter cards, like to get the engine going and stuff. Because if they're just special summoning, that kind of implies that they've either gone Terratop, Barrage, or just pure Infernoids. Just kind of like. Ugh.
That's true. Yeah, this can hurt certain decks.
Well, I think that wraps everything up. I don't think I've missed anything out this week, so yeah, let me know in the comment section if there's any feedback for this, if you prefer like the kind of group discussion thing, or if we'd rather go back to just the sort of quick style thing. On the other hand, I think that if I was to do group ones, obviously they're naturally going to be longer because more people will have to give input. I might have to go back and do 2 up per week, so like have a long one, maybe even like an hour with like everyone, and then like a 60-second version as well. So I could go do something like that. But yeah, just trying to work out like the best way to approach this weekly. So let me know what you think down below. If you've watched this far, fucking hashtag Papa Roach. If you've managed to stay with us for 30 minutes. But yeah, so we'll be back next week. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Ciao.